All right, we are live. Hi, I'm Dr. Lindsay Nelson. I'm going to talk to you guys today about oxidative stress. Let me close this window. All month long, or at least the last few weeks, I've been talking a lot about aging. We've talked about supplements that help with slowing the process of aging. I mentioned a few mechanisms believed to be involved in aging, such as the telomere shortening. I talked about how we could do so you can do telomere testing if you're interested, and how NAD and nitric oxide and those type of things help. But today I wanted to talk about oxidative stress because it's a key component about aging. This little picture is a quick, I think, nice little, easy to understand synopsis of what oxidative stress is. I think a lot of people talk about oxidative stress and they kind of understand the global concept, but don't really understand what it means. The longer you've been on this planet, the longer you've been exposed to oxidative damage. It's something that you cannot avoid. No matter how healthy you think you are living and eating and all of that, you cannot avoid oxidative stress. And so the reason being is highly reactive oxygen molecules, ROSs, or free radicals, are just part of normal human activity. When we metabolize, when we make oxygen, which is our energy, we produce ROSs. When our immune system gets activated with trying to fight off viruses or bacteria, we release ROSs, reactive oxidative species. When our body tries to detoxify from pollution, environmental pollutants, and that type of stuff, we produce ROSs. And so we get oxidative stress. These molecules, these ROSs, lead to oxidative stress, but they can be counterbalanced by all the antioxidant systems that we have in place. We have oxidative systems that are enzymatic processes that our body naturally does, like SOD, superoxide dismutase. We take in flavonoids, right, from supplements, or we eat some of our antioxidants through our diet or through supplements. And so all of these antioxidants help kind of fight off the oxidative stress. But when production of free radicals or these ROSs becomes excessive, the antioxidant mechanisms of the cell become overwhelmed. And so that free radical action is not controlled. This can lead to impaired cellular function and cellular damage. The ROSs like to target cell membranes, which are made out of lipids, right? So all your cells have a membrane and they're made out of lipids. So they like to attack those. They like to attack proteins. The proteins that they're talking about here are usually deactivating enzymes. Enzymes, for any of you that don't know, besides your digestive enzymes, which I think a lot of people think of, enzymes are just the biological catalysts in the body that make all chemical reactions happen. These proteins are also on those cells that's on their receptors. Those receptors are how cells communicate. So it's important for cellular communication. It's when hormones and that type of stuff bind to those cells. And this oxidative stress also likes to target DNA, and we see DNA damage. This can lead to cellular mutation, which can lead to cancer, or it can lead to cellular death. But that's all part of that aging process that we were talking about a few weeks ago. What I find interesting is that we can now kind of test what your oxidative damage is. Before we were kind of guessing. This is a urine test where we're testing two of those biomarkers. The lipid peroxidase, right? The lipid peroxidase would be the oxidative damage to those cell membranes. And then this 8-OHDG, which is going to be reflective of oxidative damage to the DNA. And so this is two ways that we can test. I use a company called Genova a lot. They do an oxidative stress test. It's a urine test. They also do what you're looking at now, and don't get dizzy as I go to the top, is a Metabolics Plus. And this looks at not only your oxidative stress, but it looks at your mitochondrial function. Remember, those are the Those are your little battery packs in every cell. It looks at your toxic exposure. So it does a big sweep looking for all of different heavy metals and that type of stuff that you can be exposed to. And then your methylation balance, and which I think I'm talking about in a couple of weeks. It's interesting to note that like this 8-OHDG and some of these lipid peroxidases are also implicated in a variety of diseases, cancers, especially prostate and bladder, atopic dermatitis, rheumatoid arthritis, pancreatitis, chronic hepatitis, a lot of inflammatory conditions, like inflammatory bowel disease, neurological diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, that type of stuff. But we can do a lot to help fight off, right? We can help this system by eating unprocessed foods, eating unprocessed foods, right? Avoiding processed foods, eating diets rich in flavonoids and antioxidants. I really like saying, eat the rainbow. That's a good way of knowing you're getting a lot of antioxidants. Avoiding stress, decreasing inflammation. There's tons of different antioxidants. Some of them people are really familiar with. I think resveratrol is getting a lot of attention. I think mostly because it's found in wine and people are like, yes, I get to drink red wine. It's good for me. That is true. But you have a whole bunch. You have your flavonoids that you find in like green tea and red wine. You have your indoles, which you're going to find in broccoli, and your crucifer vegetables. Broccoli is good for glutathione. Glutathione is your biggest, like your master antioxidant. You want to have foods that are rich in vitamin A, beta carotene, your carotenoids, your lycopenes, all of that. And so really trying to focus on eating the rainbow can really help this system. Does anybody have any questions for me? I am going to stop sharing so I can see the chat box. You can either ask a question or you can put it in the chat box. No? It was a quick one today.
How do you go about getting this test?
Great question. Thank you for asking. If anyone is interested in doing an antioxidant test, there's the oxidative stress, which is just the urine test, and that's actually pretty cheap. Most insurance companies will pay for a portion of it. You will be looking at generally some sort of I guess like a copay to it. This metabolic test, metabolomics or whatever it's called, is I think $400 if you were to pay completely cash based. But like I said, most insurance companies, a good portion of it, because they are testing all of your antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10, glutathione, that one that I mentioned, your B vitamins, your minerals, all of those. It's looking at your digestive system, your digestive enzymes, your microbiome. What does your probiotics look like? It looks at all your amino acids. So there's a lot of components of this test that insurance will cover. I think most people with insurance usually pay like $180 though. But if you are interested, to get to your question, email me at drlindsay.s.nelson@gmail.com. What's really nice about this kit is that it is urine and a little finger stick, both of which you can do at home. So I can have this kit drop shipped to you. And yeah, just reach out to me, send me an email, and I can have this drop shipped to you if you're interested. This or the oxidative stress test. And I can give you better pricing too.
So if the results come back that you have some damage, then, I mean, what do you do about it besides eating more of the unprocessed food, maybe vitamin supplements?
Yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of why I like this test so much is that we can really target what you may be deficient in. So instead of like doing a multi and hoping that you're getting enough, you know, well, this isn't a good one because this one, like doing right, a lot of your B vitamins, people assume that, especially like B2 and B3, people assume that they get a lot of just in their everyday diet. So like this person would be a person that we definitely want to do a really high quality, high dosing. So the dosing would be higher than you would see like in a multi or maybe a normal B complex. So we can target when knowing specifically what you are deficient in. You'd be surprised how many people that I've done this test and we see, again, please don't get sick on me, where we see that part of the problem lies in they have some dysbiosis markers, meaning some bad stuff growing in their gut that's causing dysbiosis or yeast, and that's affecting their antioxidant levels. So maybe we target that. There are a lot of people that I've done this test on, and we find that, again, don't get sick on me, that, oh, this part doesn't have it, that's an added on, where they have heavy metals. And so maybe part of the treatment is to get rid of some of those heavy metals or find out where they might be getting exposed to those heavy metals. So, you know, you could just take some really good antioxidants for sure. You could take glutathione and you could take some, you know, full, all your, you know, good multi and that type of stuff. But I like this test because it really targets what you may be deficient in so that we can do higher therapeutic doses. And then we can actually really find out where the source of oxidative stress is coming from.
Thank you.
Question? You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. I don't remember what I'm talking about next week. I'll have to look, I should have looked that up, sorry. But hopefully I will see you guys next week. If you want to see a copy of this, it'll be on my website, drlindsaysnelson.com. And again, feel free to email me at drlindsaysnelson@gmail.com. Thank you, bye.
Bye.